Things happen in the occasional without recognition. Risks run, tessellate. He would burn her back, he says, his mother into presence, as if she would return to herself in his desire. Too close to see she might want in her own terms. Horror is best domesticated and we weep plainly. See what I mean? So I'm hearing that voice. Horror is best domesticated. I could do that. Actually, maybe that's the answer to this. To see she might want, yeah, he would as well. When the wind swells, the plane enters sound differently. It's terrible. Spins the way a compass needle does, finding direction, a lag catching before it steadies. What happens in an indrawn breath on that scale? A thunderclap restarting. If living is without you. Across hedge groins, privates. At night, chorus. I can't. We climbed the pines he buried, cut out pictures leaving holes. The small incline was freedom, resin, bark, bending under weight. It might pitch us to the ground, coyotes falling from the cliff, followed by a rock suspended. Any more? Plangent warbling. The hum of wings happens. Colour of a green beetle catching. Light between branches this summer. Taped birdsong. Ticks in the sink bowl. Shaken. Water trapped in its own form. Mild. Planetary skin. Float. Tasting. Clear borealis. We went to look. Treading it. The cliffs rose. Let my limbs get me there and back. About to dive and you shouted, what about the book? Panic. Caves where children swing. In times of famine they stockpile supplies, mouldering in deserted buildings, infrequently visited. Yes. Beginning again. Wood splits along length. A hammer. Silence preens as if scarcity confers luckiness. Like a spring day, it announced. Building the sound. Voices inhabiting. You never listen, he said. Let me finish my sentence. What will they take from this meeting? The memory of cadences, Que Lindo, Mexico City, splashing from its cup. When ash falls, the celebration of blue eyes, fungus on the corn, Huitlacoche. But not the rolling R of ferrocarril. I used to be tested by that by my partner John, who used to make me say the double R, and then when I failed dismally, he would laugh. Ferrocarril. He has a fear of volcanoes. It may dull the pain of flying. Feel it budding on his shoulders. Yesterday the river was tame, warm with players out amongst the banks, throwing coins at sandmen, the man who was the Mona Lisa, hundreds waiting to slide. Autumn sends out spores. We all cough and wait for invasion. Mist, the cool of seasons. The trees are dying. It is not natural. Life congregates, still. Waking up to mass destruction on the radio, Sunday. Splashing up the hillsides as far as you can see. From the plain, planetary. Settling, he laughed. Isn't it always the way? The breeze with an edge of salt, horn from distant boats. Does it run through me more than the vision of the brow of the hill, a hip of land giving way to what comes over will be where I am, or want to be, a promise, scenting. Practice will not bring it nearer. She thinks, do you reach out ahead of yourself? Ferrocarril, furrow-quarril. A bit of Christopher Smart. 3rd of July. An equivocal generation is a generation and no generation, he said, and that his talent was a punching of impressions on words, bringing birds and animals into alliances with propositions, making moulds, from his memory of books in a time of incarceration. Voyages among stars and finding truths in the horizontal moon that he might name, and it was the nature of constituent life, finding toads in the heart of rocks or no, height in which there are not flowers, and every word has its marrow in an ear so acute it stings again. Frost was damp air candied to its best advantage, dreaming, not of one solution but many. Sparks flew upwards, hinging a golden-winged flycatcher with some that hath the power of sentences. On a rare 13th of March 1761, prophecies of speckled doves and tigers, no knowing of times and seasons, his chronology.